All right, we're going to do lab number 11 now. Do a recording for it. I thought you guys could do it on your own, but I'm getting lots and lots of questions. So hopefully you can answer most of those questions as we go through it. All right, so we're going to go over, first of all, to log into Canvas. Again, you need to download everything. They said it was locked originally. Hopefully it's not locked anymore. It was never locked for me, but you know how that goes. It usually works for the professor, never for the students. We're going to scroll down here, click on estimate number 2, download it. I've downloaded it multiple times, so we got a copy of it downloaded. We're going to go ahead and open that up. We can choose enable editing. If you're going to edit it, you can. I'm just going to go view page width just so it's easier to read on here. Again, we're going to just start out with number 1 here. It wants you to draw the symbols or conventions for the solving switches, single pole, 3-way, 4-way, and dimmer. So you can either look those up on the internet or you can look at the plans. So I had downloaded the plans. Actually, let's go back to here and go to modules. Come on, modules, and we'll scroll down here. And again, the plans we're interested in are Centennial High School. So right here we got our electrical plans for Centennial High School. Right here, electrical drawing, Centennial High School. We're going to download those, which I already did. So we're just going to go open those up under my downloads, Centennial High School plans. Should be right there. Once this opens up, okay, we're going to just zoom in on here. Use my zoom right here. And so you can see the symbols. You can either get them from here, duplex switch, whatever else it asked us to do. Jump back over into Word. So wanted a single pole switch, 3-way switch, 4-way switch. So we can jump back over to the plans here. You got power, you got lighting. So we should be able to find our switches, single pole, 3-way switch, 4-way switch. You can literally just copy this, or you could copy and paste it into the Word, or you can literally draw it and scan it. However you wanted to get it in there is fine. Okay. Let's look at some of the other ones. Okay. Draw the symbol for the receptacles, single duplex, double duplex, or duplex on emergency, duplex half switch, duplex ceiling mounted. Again, you can either get those off the plans there, off the first sheet, the legend there, or you could get them off the internet and paste them. Doesn't matter. Same way with number 3. You're going to do the same thing. Number 4, it says draw a symbol for conventional for home run 2 circuit going to panel B. Okay. All we're looking is for something like B-5 or B, 5-7. That's literally all you're doing. It's telling us that we're circuit B, that and it's would be in panel B, circuits 5 and 7, basically a 240 volt circuit. Okay, you're literally going to write that there. Okay, you're not looking for this particular one, number 4. You're not going to find it on the plans anywhere. I'm just asking you, how would we label that particular circuit, the home run containing that circuit? Okay, so it's just going to be B, 5-7. Okay. Number 5, it's 2 points. So what type of wires allowed on the project? List material and installation requirement. We're going to go into the specs to find that. Okay, so we're not going to find that on the plans. It's going to be in the specifications. So let's go over to the specifications. So if we go back here, we can see specifications. Centennial High School Division 16. We'll go ahead and download that, which I've already done. So we'll go over here to My Downloads, and we'll grab Division 16. And you can see I've probably downloaded it multiple times. And what we're looking for is now we're looking for the wire section. So if we scroll down here at the bottom of the page, it tells us we're in basic electrical requirements. So we want to scroll down until we get to the wire or section. So it says Raceway. We're in Raceway now. We're in Raceway still. Keep scrolling down. Raceway. Cable trays, cable trays, cable trays. Wire and cable. So now we're in wire and cable. So now wire and cable. This is what we're looking for. So we're going to look through here kind of, and we want to see what kind of wire. It says this section includes wire and cable, 600 volts or less. It says absolutely no conductor, no aluminum conductor shall be part of this. Basically, that means we're using copper wire. And we got the manufacturers, acceptable manufacturers. We see right here, it needs to be THHN insulation rated at 600 volts. So provide solid conductors for 10 gauge and smaller. Provide stranded conductors for 8 gauge and larger. Okay. So basically, what I'm looking for is you're going to tell me THHN rated at 600 volts and copper conductor. Okay, it's going to be copper, assuming that there's no aluminum. We're not allowed to use aluminum. Okay, so again, the key is the bottom wire and cable. We got to go to the section we're looking for, and then scroll through that particular section. Okay, so let's go look at another one. Let's go back to the Word document. All right, so the next one, number 6, transformer from the primary transformer activities building. Output is at delta or Y configuration. Also the size of the backup generator and what's the fuel source. That we're going to get from the plans. Okay. So I've downloaded the plans. So let's go. Actually, I got the plans open right there. So let's go back to the plans. And now I would go to, let's see how slow these are. Let's go minus. These may be kind of slow. But remember, you guys are in alright, I'm going to zoom this a little bit. Demolition. Basement. We're looking for the one-line diagram. That's what I'm looking for. And here's the one-line diagram. Okay. What we're going to get from this one-line diagram is we're going to see here. We're going to zoom in a little bit. Zoom in, and where's my bottom scroll? Okay, so here we got coming from the transformer. We know it's a pod-mounted utility transformer, 480 volts. We're going to feed it with a delta, and we're going to come out with a Y. Okay, now this is a little confusing. It's actually 480/277Y, and it's actually fed with 13,200 volts on the input. Okay. So a lot of times they get lazy on how they label it. So it kind of looks like it's a delta, but it's not. The delta is the input. We know it's a Y because we have the dual voltage. We have the 480 and the 277. Okay. It's a little labeled a little better over here where it's 277/480, three-phase, four-wire. Again, we know it's a Y because we have the dual voltage, the 480 and the 277. Okay. We look at the generator. Okay, it wants to know what size it is. Well, generators are rated in kilowatts. So 20 kW, 20 kilowatts, would be the size of the generator. The voltage, of course, is going to be 277/480 because it has to match the transformer if it's going to back up the transformer. Okay. If we look at what the energy source is, well, it's natural gas. It's driven with natural gas. Well, how do we know what's going to be backed up or what the emergency or what the generator powers? We have to follow it over to where the transfer switch is. We come over here to the transfer switch, and the transfer switch is either going to provide power from the main panel, which gets power from the transformer, or it's going to transfer to the generator. And so the only panels that are going to get emergency power are this HEM, high emergency panel right here, because it's hooked to the transfer switch, and then anything downstream of this panel. So if we look downstream, it's going to go through a step-down transformer, and it's going to power this low emergency panel, LEMA, and the LEM-B over here. Again, only these three panels are going to be hot or backed up with the generator. Okay, that's only three panels that are going to have power when we lose our line voltage. Okay, our regular grid power. Okay. All right, let's go back to the document here. I'm probably getting ahead of myself. All right, so hopefully you got the information that goes in. Okay. Something like this: list 5 requirements for installing conduit. Besides manufacturer installation instruction, applicable. Where would I find it? We're gonna go back to the specs. Okay. So we go back to the specs. We'll jump over here, jump back into the specs, and now we want to go to conduit or Raceway. Okay. Come back up to our Raceway here, and it should tell us, we'll go back to the beginning of Raceway, installation of conduit. Okay, it tells us conceal all conduit, blah, 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 and so forth. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. So we're going to add that installation there. Let's make sure I'm reading the question right. It says list 5 requirements of installing conduit beside manufacturing installation instruction applicable NECO requirements. So I just want you to list the first 5. So we're going to come over here again, and we're going to list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5. That's all you're going to list for that question. You're just simply going to copy and paste those into your Word document for installation of conduit. Again, we looked on making sure we were in Raceway, and then we were looking for the installation of conduit. Okay, that's how we found it. Okay. Jump over here. Number 8. It says what color schedule for wire. Again, we're going to go back to the specs. In this case, we're going to jump back down to the wire and cable. So again, look at the bottom of each page. It kind of tells you where you're at. Okay, so now we're in wire and cable. So wire and cable, this section. We're going to scroll through down here, through this section, and we're going to see if it tells us any color code somewhere. So just a quick scan through here. And believe it or not, right here, color code schedule. This is for 120/208. This is the color code. Tells us the phase, 277/480 color code. Again, you can either just type that into Word or you can cut and paste that into Word to answer that question. It's that simple. Okay? All right, jump back over here. Number 9, it says who's responsible for mechanical equipment, motors, who's responsible for connecting power wiring, who's responsible for connecting control wiring. Okay? So again, that's going to be in the specifications. It happens to be in both the section 15 or division 15, and it happens to be in division 16 also. We're going to just look in 16 because that's what we got open. So if we scroll down here, what we're looking for is installation of products. So let's see what we can find. We got, right now we're in cabinets and boxes. Keep going, installation pull boxes, fittings. Go a little further. Let me pause. All right, we'll continue on now. We were looking for electrical connection for equipment. So that's the section you want to be in, and we want to find out who's responsible for what. Okay. So we're going to scroll down here, and there happens to be a chart. It's actually a table that shows us who's responsible for what. So item, who furnishes the item, who's got set by who, powered by who, control wiring by who. So we're looking for mechanical equipment and motors. So it's going to be set by mechanical, it's going to be power wired by electrical, and control wiring is going to be handled by mechanical. So that's what I'm looking for right there. Okay. So you're going to transfer that to your Word document. Okay, A, B, and C right there. It says list of manufacturers that can be used for wiring devices as long as they meet the requirements. Okay. So again, we're going to go back to the specs. Again, we're going to look at the bottom section here, the bottom of the page, and we want devices now. Okay. So it happens to be right next here, wiring devices. Okay. And what was the question? The question, list the manufacturers that can be used. Okay, so jump over here, acceptable manufacturers, wiring devices, right here. Wiring devices, acceptable manufacturers, right there they are. You're just going to copy those, paste them in your Word document. Okay, pretty simple. What type of wall outlets are to be used? Okay, we're probably in the same section. We're under wiring devices. Here's our wall outlets. It says a wall out shall be extra heavy duty with nylon fronts and backs. Okay, right there under receptacles. So that's what you're going to copy over there to the Word document. Okay. All right. What are the reference standards for underground electrical service? Okay, back to the specifications. So now we're looking for underground devices. Let's see, wiring devices, supporting devices, supporting devices, supporting devices. Quality assurance, and I may have already passed it. Identification. Underground, right here. So now we're in underground electrical service. I forgot what the question was. So we're the reference standards for underground electrical service. So let's go back here and see. Now that we're in this section. Underground electrical service, work included, related work, reference standards, okay? That's what we're looking for, A through F there, those reference standards for underground electrical service, okay? Does that make sense? Hopefully. We're going to come back and we're going to list those 6 points. Were there 6 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were, okay? So you're simply going to add that there, okay? Number 14, from the one-line diagram. So it tells you exactly where to go look. You're going to go look on the one-line diagram back in the plans, which I think I still have right here. One-line diagram, and it wants to know from the one-line diagram how many high voltage emergency panels are on there, how many low voltage emergency panels, and what are the voltages of these panels. So we jump back here, and again, emergency panels are the ones that are hooked for the transfer switch. So there's one high voltage emergency panel, and it happens to be 277/480 volts. Okay, that panel provides a transformer that steps the voltage down to 120/208, and in this case there happens to be 2 low voltage emergency panels. There's LEMA and LEMB. Okay, right there, and they happen to be 120/208. Okay, that's the voltage from the one line diagram. Okay. All right, let's see what else there is. Number 14. From the one-line diagram, how many panels are controlled by emergency off switches? Which panels are they? How many locations can they be shut off from? Again, it tells you where to look. We're going to go to the one-line diagram. Now we're looking for something that gets shut off by emergency switches. We go right here if you don't get dizzy and fall down. Here we got EPO, emergency power off buttons in trade shop. These are for the teacher, the trade shop teacher, in case he sees a dangerous situation going on. He can hit one of these buttons, usually they're big red emergency stop buttons mounted on the walls of the shop, and he can hit any one of those buttons, and it's going to shut all the equipment off that's wired to these 2 panels. Okay? So there's 3 emergency buttons, there's 2 panels, L2A and L2A2. Okay, those are the 2 panels, those are the 3 emergency buttons. So let's see what the question says. It says, how many panels are controlled by the emergency off? So 2. Which panels are they? L2A2 and L2A2A, whatever it was. Okay, how many locations can they be shut off from? 3. Okay. Number 15, from the one-line diagram, how many single-phase transformers are there, and what is the is/are the output voltages? So we jump back over here, And what we're looking for is transformers, but we want single phase. So right here, if you see right here, that says three phase or three phi, that stands for phase. So that's a three-phase transformer. This is coming directly from the panel feeding a three-phase. So we know these two are actually three-phase. Okay. We know this one here. Whoops. Yeah, go too far. Ooh. All right. All right. Three phase. This one's three phase. This one's a three phase. Um, that only leaves this last transformer, and we can see right here it says one phase. Okay. So there's only one from the one line diagram. There's only one single phase transformer, and the voltage output voltage of it is 120 slash 240. Okay. So right there. So we can put on here. There's one, and the output's 120 slash 240. Okay. For number 16, okay, I told you 16 is optional. If you want to do it, that's fine. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. But you would do it exactly like we did the um, pre-con building. Okay. I gave you a spreadsheet. So if you go back over to here, I gave you a spreadsheet to start with. So there's a bill of materials. Where is it at? Our pricing file for Centennial High School. We download that, open it up, and this would be your sheet where you would put your quantities, your takeoff quantities here. I gave you the cost, the units for them, and then you would look up the hours in the NECA labor rate manual to get the number of hours here. You would do the formulas exactly like we did for the pre-con building. Okay, you don't necessarily have to do the show. Well, you don't necessarily have to show the bill of materials section. I simply gave you a pricing file this time. All I was looking was for a final price. Okay. Again, if you want to practice doing that's fine. I'm not going to grade it. I think the pre-con one would pretty much kind of sum that up. Okay. Again, it is optional. You can do it if you want. Okay. Let's see. Where does that leave us? Okay, and then that's it. Okay. That makes sense? You're simply going to fill in this Word document, upload it or PDF it, whichever you want. I think I went through most of them. Hopefully that clears up any of the questions that people have asked. Okay? All right. I'm going to end right